today I'm going to talk about Uranus transiting through your 7th house. So Uranus is leaving Aries and it's going to Taurus. And for me, that's been crazy because the Uranus will go through a sign for about 7 years, give or take, it just depends. It's been going through Taurus for a very long part of my life and through my 7th house, which is the house of relationships. It's the house of the other, your shadow side. It's the house of partnership, marriage, business partnership, legalities. 7th house also rules projection onto another and also rules your open enemies. So having Uranus going through your 7th house, Uranus is like the planet of your unexpected things, shocking things, unique things, sudden changes, things like technology, surgeries. Uranus is forward thinking. It doesn't like tradition. It doesn't like anything that's not individual and unique. It wants to honor everything unique, and it wants to really just break apart and explode everything that is traditional. And it's not subtle, it's not stable. It's definitely the opposite of those things. So it takes Uranus a long time to get through the signs because it is so far out. It's a more of a collective energy that people are born into generationally because it stays through the planets for those 7 or so years. So I have Uranus natally in Capricorn, which is a very grounding place to have Uranus. It's exactly conjunct my Neptune. Anyway, Uranus going through the 7th house is going to indicate changes in all of those things that I spoke before, sudden changes, unexpected things. So for me, the last 7 years have been basically all relationship changes and craziness in that realm that have forced me to look at things in a new way, have a new freedom, have a new non-traditional sense of really who I am. You know, like I said, it's your shadow side, the 7th house. The 1st house is what you come off of and what you come off initially, what people take you as. The 7th house is things that you hide, things that you're not. The ruler of the 7th house in that area is things that you hide, things that you're not comfortable with, that you don't want people to see. And so projection, you will project things onto people, and you will find these people that are of the 7th house, that are of your shadow side, that are probably not the best for you. So to have a planet of such instability and change and, you know, freedom and really crazy energy, unpredictable energy going through the house of relationships and marriage, and how you see yourself, the things that are negative about yourself, it's been crazy. The past 7 years, I've had probably way too many relationships. No, I'm just kidding. You can never have way too many relationships, says the Venus and Sun in the 7th house person. So yeah, that's another thing. My Sun and my Venus were in the 7th house. So to have a planet go through the 7th house, you're going to have unexpected relationship changes. You're going to have new ways of seeing yourself, new ways of dealing with partnerships. You're going to really have a rebellion against relationship. I don't see getting married or anything like that a really good thing to do if Uranus is going through your 7th house. Don't just say you can't have relationships because it's there for a long time. So, but just don't be afraid of leaving them. Don't be afraid of freedom. Don't be afraid of, innovation and looking at things in a new original way and changing your old thoughts. You're going to be changing your thoughts about relationships through this transit, definitely. You're going to have unbelievable epiphanies and new ideas and weird things that you're thinking about what you could go through in a relationship and what you like and what you could put up with, and how you see yourself and how you project yourself onto someone else, and why you're seeing these things in someone else. Like, why am I seeing all of this negative shit that I don't like about myself, or that I just don't like in general, onto somebody else? Because you're projecting that onto them and they are showing it back to you. So any planet in the 7th house is going to draw some different types of different feelings about relationships, of course, especially a transit. So to have Uranus there, just be ready for really growing in your individuality and your freedom and feeling like, you can you can have these big relationship changes and you're still gonna be okay. You're still you. You know, break tradition, go in new ways, do things that people don't like. Uranus doesn't care what people like. It doesn't care what people think. It doesn't care about anything except for the new consciousness, the new way of seeing things, the elevated ways. So through the 7th house as well, how I said legalities is in the 7th house, you will probably have some legal issues. You might get in trouble with the law. You might have something unexpected. Some mail come to your house where it was like, this happened when? Like, what is this? I didn't know I owed this, you know, money, or I didn't know that I broke a law or something, like, you know, like just anything legality wise. Your partner as well might have some legal issues. They might have a lawsuit. You might have to support them in that, like help them through it or help them in some kind of way. You know, marriage, you might have a breakup if Uranus is going through your 2nd house, divorce, just really future events that are unpredicted and very unique, that have to do with how you relate to others. Creativity is also very important to this planet, so you might have to fight through relationships to be able to be creative. Like you might be with someone that isn't allowing you to have your freedom or your creativity, and it might be something that causes you to be like, I need to get out of here and sabotage this relationship. It can be violent and unexpected changes, and even how you deal with relationships. You could never have felt like these things before, and then all of a sudden feel them and say, I'm leaving tomorrow, you know, I'm moving, I'm going somewhere else. I'm making a huge change in my relationship patterns for the future. So that is your Uranus transit through the 7th house. It's been crazy, and you know, now it's going into my 8th house, which 8th house rules a lot of different things. But the 7th house, you know, you might have some really crazy self-discovery through relationships. You will. Unless you're a hermit and you go and live out in the woods and don't talk to anyone. Then you're probably just gonna go stir crazy and sit on the internet all day. And still probably have relationships with people that are unique and crazy. And Uranus also rules technology and electronics, so I could see that happening. But yeah, big changes for you in relationships, so it's exciting. Have fun. Bye.